The added benefit of keeping things organized is that you can hide what you don't need, which gets in the way as you try to work. So a number of things are getting in the way. Right now I don't need to see this background, so I'm going to hide the camera rig. Off camera, just to let you know, I cleaned up a little bit and I had some my texture. I've got a couple here because I did two projections, but you should see one of these nodes in your scene, which is the node that was created when you projected the texture onto the building. So what I've done is I've put this one, I've grouped it into something which I've called placement nodes. My group one, which contained the camera rig, I have renamed to camera rig, and I can now hide it using Control H. And in the geometry, right now I don't need anything except the stone building, so I'm going to shift select what I don't need and go Control H. And now that really allows me to focus on what I'm working on. So let's hit 6 again, so we can see the texture. And we just need to create now the edge loops for the vertical side of each window. So let's go Insert Edge Loop Tool, and then we click here. And you see my projection is probably not perfect because all the window is a bit wonky, who knows. Actually it might be because you see on this side it's not straight and here it's almost perfectly aligned. So it could be that building that's moved a little bit, or some distortion in something, maybe the photograph. So I'm creating an edge loop for each line because we're working at really high resolution. That's why it takes so long before each edge loop is finished. And again here I'm going to be slightly on the outside rather than on the inside. There we go. And because it takes so long, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on all the windows, but I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, when we are done we can delete the windows themselves. So I'm going to hit Q to go to selection mode, then right click, select faces, and I'm going to select all the faces, which should be window openings. So I'm holding Shift to do a multiple selection, and then backspace. Alright, now we need to create some depth for our windows. So I'm going to need to select all of these 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's important to be efficient with that. What you don't want to have to do is select, go to edge, and then go click, 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 and then do that as many times as there are windows. So you need to learn to find efficient ways of doing selections. So what I'm going to do here, I'm in edge selection mode, and first thing I'm noticing is I can just go like this and it selects all of these, and then I can just go shift. I've got shift on, and then that's all it takes. Okay, which is a lot quicker than doing 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks as many times as you have windows. I don't think I can do that selection faster than this. What we're going to do is extrude this out, or in, sorry, this way. By how much are we going to extrude this? Well, we need to hit 6 again to see how deep this goes. It's taking time because it's a high-res photograph, but eventually we've got it. So let's take a look at this. The problem is that it slows down the extrude tool as well. So much it's difficult to work with it. Okay, so what might be simpler is actually to go to mode 4 and work in wireframe mode, which is really fast, and then work with the image in the background. So I'm going to show my camera again. So let's go to the camera rig, hit Shift H to show the camera, and I'm going to go to the match cam, and from here we might be able to see better. But here I'm working on a small window here, so I'm going to go full screen to see the detail here. So I'm going to pause because I can't record my whole screen. I'm going to pause and do that off. Okay, so that's my extrude done. Back to normal resolution, and back to mode 4, and back to the perspective camera. And now we've got our window geometry. That's not all. I'm going to hit 6 one more time because there is a little architectural detail that is quite important that we're going to want to model. and also because it's interesting to learn how to do that. Okay, you see those stones under every window? We're going to want to model this. Okay, so I'm going to hit 4 again. So how are we going to do that? What you can do with what you've learned is, well, think about how you would do that before I do it myself. So you could pause the video here and then wonder, how are you going to create this geometry? And there's different ways. What I'm going to do is pause the video here and I'll continue in the next one.